Welcome here to the FWA Review, where I'm delighted to be joined by our chairman, Paddy Barclay, because we're going to react to the Champions League draw this evening. Yes, it's not been great. We knew, didn't we? I think Antonio Conte, after Chelsea's got finished second, he said there's a 33.3% chance, 0.5 of them meeting Barcelona or PSG, and they've got Barcelona. A replay of the 2012 semi-final, which they triumphantly won to get to the final, with Fernando Torres scoring the last goal, of all things.
Yep.
Who's in the best position in your mind?
I think Barcelona. Now, I think Chelsea are in a bit of a tricky place, and so I think Barcelona would be the favourites to go through there. But I still think there's a chance we'll get 4 English quarter-finalists, maybe even 4 semi-finalists. I really do feel that this is England's year, but maybe Chelsea, Barcelona at this stage at this time is asking too much.
Tough for Tottenham. First of all, they come up against the Champions League winners and now the finalists in Juventus.
They've got the best, having got the better of Real Madrid in the group stage. I don't think Tottenham should be particularly concerned about Juventus. Pedigree counts for a lot, so Juventus will be away second leg. So the second leg is at Wembley Stadium.
Yep.
Wow, that's good. I'd love to be there.
Yeah.
But yeah, the other 3 I think look. You don't want to be overconfident. But the English side would be favourite to go through.
Yeah, so Basel, Manchester City, Liverpool, Porto, and Man United, Sevilla.
Yes, especially after Sevilla getting absolutely hammered by Real Madrid at the weekend. Yeah.
The one other bad thing for Chelsea is that Lionel Messi, remarkable, still hasn't scored against Chelsea. He scored 363 goals in 397 games for Barcelona.
The law of averages points to at least one hat, and he doesn't just score single goals, as we know. So it's a hat trick. Oh dear.
Oh, 8 appearances against Chelsea and no goals. So we'll see.
It's been a great series though. It's Chelsea against Barcelona in the Champions League era. I mean, some of the games, it's
some of my favourites.
Yeah,
some of my favourites
absolutely.
ever. Let's move on to a quiet, uneventful weekend of derbies, and the one talking point that we'll get more and more of. It really started trickling out at 11 p.m. last night. Our tunnel reporter at our channel, beIN Sports, wasn't really aware of all this. So very much off the tunnel is the dressing room. But this battle, I don't know if we're going to. It was the battle of the buffet before, wasn't it? What do we call this? The milk melee.
Pizza gate. Yeah. This. Yeah, exactly. This is the milkshake. I don't know.
Oh, milkshake.
I don't know.
We're taking.
I used to be a sub-editor many years ago, but. It's a shame. I mean, in a way, it's a shame because such a brilliant and significant match should end up in this sort of fairly childish antics. But maybe City. I mean, Jose Mourinho. Certainly, the message we get is that Jose Mourinho feels that City were being a little bit disrespectful, a little bit noisy neighbour, by celebrating, as you can see in this photograph on the back page of The Sun, right in front of the Manchester United emblem in the tunnel area, which presumably is outside the City dressing room.
That's in the tunnel, yeah. No, I mean, it was their over-celebration in the dressing room, but as a tunnel reporter, that's very normal. In a big derby, it's really normal. They crank up the music, they're banging the walls.
Yeah, you should be able to play your music if you've won a game, regardless of where you've won it.
That will continue, but ultimately, again, Pep Guardiola, a great article by Miguel Delaney in The Independent ahead of this.
Wasn't that a superb piece by Miguel, in which he spoke to, I can't remember what the exact phrase, you maybe got it there, somebody close to Manchester City, and then you're left to work out. I can't work out who it is, whether it's an ex-player who travels with the club a lot, I have an idea of one of the people who that might be, or a member of the coaching staff, the backroom staff, but anyway, somebody at a City insider who's close to the technical side of it talked about why Pep Guardiola's Manchester City are so difficult to play against, And the idea really is basically the focal point of attack rotates. We saw it, didn't we, yesterday? When David Silva was described in one report that I read, I think it might have been in the Telegraph, as playing as a false nine. You could. That's one way you could put it. Or did they play with two playmakers? Two central playmakers in De Bruyne and Silva. Either way, it was fascinating, and it was very interesting to watch in the light of Miguel Delaney's independent article, which I thought was a great piece, one of the best. I love reading proper, the drama.
Yeah.
The drama's good, but a technical read, I think, is the best football writing, and that was a good example.
Really nice reference piece to look through,
it was,
and will be relevant for the season ongoing. If you like a bit of football romance, you can't get better than this, can you? The one regret of Wayne Rooney's Everton career that he didn't score against the Reds as a Blue, and he's done it now, Roo. Yeah,
he's really, really proving a huge asset to the new regime, the Sam Allardyce regime at Everton. And, this is the Star, a really, really good Football on Monday front page with all Rooney's determination and commitment to Everton. Evident in that photograph and graphics. Really good presentation.
50 Cent already into a half century. Harry Kane, is he on course for being a Ballon d'Or winner in the future? It's all about the S word, isn't it?
Ridiculous.
Silverware.
But Harry Kane, especially in a World Cup year, is really turning into a...
Don't get everyone excited.
No, I'm getting ahead of myself here, especially as a Scotland supporter. Actually, I don't really necessarily want them to win it, but professionally, of course, we all do. Harry Kane certainly is going that way, although, under Son and, of course, Eriksen week in, week out is good. It was a great victory, great performance by Spurs again, punishing a really, really poor Stoke, and I wonder if that's going to be a story. Stoke City over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, I'm afraid it's looking that way, isn't it? Antonio Conte conceding the title, going on to say, and surprising me in the tunnel afterwards, and then followed up in the press conference that his race for the title never started after a run of early poor results, rather than saying never started from day one. But he was very devastated after that match. Darren Lewis giving hope to everyone that fears that the title race is over, saying the title race is not out of your reach. Antonio calling on Zabaleta, who's actually talked about the reasons why that might not be the case. A really interesting read there for anyone that's worrying that this season might be... Well, strained is an instinct, and I had a funny feeling that West Ham could win that, which made no sense. And but it does, because they're much tighter at the back. But is it as remarkable and record-breaking as City's win? We're still only...
Yes, it is a little bit too early, but you can understand Carrier's, like all Football Writers Association members, is modest to a fault. But the quote that you got in the tunnel, in which he said, we never really started, I think that was a product more of frustration than sober assessment. And I think he won't be working in training this week. On the basis that the season's over.
No, and what an incentive when you've got Barcelona coming to visit.
Well, yeah, exactly. It proves they can concentrate on Europe.
Great bit of headline writing this. Oh, if I can hold up a paper today.
So good.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he has scored his 17th goal off the bench. Olivier Giroud to come alongside Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in terms of records as a sub. Nice little headline there, but great performance from him. He does it again and again, doesn't he?
It's amazing. Whenever you see Olivier Giroud come off the bench, you think, can there be a better centre forward than this? When he starts, you realise that there can. But he must really... I mean, he scores now. When he scores now, he has that smug expression, which is probably on that front... Where was it?
No, it's never getting that back. It's gone.
At my age, I can't get down to pick it up. But that expression on his face, which says, well, rely on me. But it is extraordinary, and he's got to be one of the best substitutes since the aforementioned Norwegian at Manchester United.
I was wondering if it was a bit sad, really, having 3 derbies on a weekend, but what a weekend it was. Now we've got to follow that.
Yeah, exactly. It was an absolutely dramatic weekend, and but I just think so many stories that came out of it. But it gives us lively front pages. The Sundays and the Mondays this week.
You sense it's going to rumble on into the week, don't you?
Oh, it's warming up now. It's only going to get better. Well, it's not everything except the weather.
Everything except the weather. We'll be back to round up everything next week, and January 21st again, the Football Writers Association tribute night to Pele. We'll be building up to that in the coming weeks too.